Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I welcome all the people here with me in European Gaza Hospital. European Gaza Hospital in the south area of Gaza Strip. It's one of the biggest and the most important hospital in the Ministry of Health in Gaza Strip, because we do have a unique surgical specialization here in this hospital. For example, the cardiac surgery, the chest surgery, the ophthalmology, the neurosurgery, and pediatric surgery as well, catheterization, and too many other specializations. So this is one of the most important hospitals related to the Ministry of Health. Since the 7th of October, the last 7th of October, during the Israeli aggression in our Palestinian people, the hospital were able to receive hundreds and hundreds of the wounded and martyrs as well. So till now, we received more than 3,500 wounded and more than 400 martyrs, and still we are providing the surgical and medical services to thousands of the people. After the Israeli occupation forces attack the hospitals in the north part of the Gaza Strip, and those people were expelled and forced to leave the hospitals during their staying in the hospital, while still they are on the bed, and still they are, some of them directly post the surgical procedures, and some of them still were in need to the surgical procedures. They was forced to leave the hospital and to come to this area. We admitted some of them to European Gaza Hospital, and still we are trying our level best to provide them with the basic needed surgeries. Unfortunately, the number of the wounded is much more than the bed occupancy and much more than the hospital capability of being able to provide the medical services. We always trying to provide excellent and safe services to the patient and wounded. Now, frankly speaking, we are talking about the lowest and the minimum services. Just now we are trying our level best just to save the life of the wounded, trying to save the limbs, trying to avoid the amputation. But now we have in our hospital more than 900 wounded civilians, while our bed occupancy used to be 240. So you can imagine how much the load in the all the health system and on the team. Unfortunately, we have too many challenges. We used to talk about the lack of medicine and medical supplies and consumables. We used to talk about the lack of fuel. We used to talk about the bed occupancy. But now, one of the most risk challenge which we are facing right now is the lack of the human power, the lack of medical team, the lack of doctors, especially the orthopedic surgeon, the anesthetist, the general surgeon, the ICU doctors. So we are facing this tremendous problem, which is really threatening all the medical services, and probably if we don't find a solution right now, the hospital will be totally collapsed. You can imagine, for example, today we have 900 wounded. Most of them need orthopedic intervention. I mean to say, they need surgery, orthopedic surgery. They need dressing under general anesthesia, and you can imagine we have only one orthopedic surgeon. What he can do? He can do very little. He can do very little. Most of our surgeons, they are working day by night for the last 2 months. Now we are in the third month of the Israeli aggression on Gaza Strip, and our surgeons, they can never continue to provide the services by the same way, by the same manner. They are extremely exhausted after the Israeli attack in Gaza, and they just entered, they invade Khan Yunis city, and they invade the middle province. Many of our medical staff, they can't reach the hospital because they are living in that area, and they can't cross Salah ad-Din road, which is the main road in Gaza Strip. That's why they are unable to reach the hospital. So we do have a lack of the medical staff who can provide this service. That's why the system is collapsing right now. Most of the wounded, they don't have, and they can't receive the medical care which they need. Even the dressing under anesthesia, it became impossible. The surgery, impossible. That's why they are suffering, and probably we are going to lose. Some of them, they will definitely die. Some of them, they will lose their limbs or hands because they, after the wound get infected and no care, probably then we will go for amputation, and maybe for septicemia, and those people will die, unfortunately. That's why it's necessary. It is the responsibility of the international community to speak loudly and to make a tremendous pressure on the Israeli occupation forces to, first of all, to allow the medical staff to be able to reach their hospitals. And the hospital of the north part of Gaza should be allowed and should be supported, should be protected, so they can take their humanitarian role to be able to provide the services. And the siege should be stopped. Gaza should go back to the life as the other people everywhere. We do have another serious problem as well, that the refugee, those people who were forced to leave their houses, those people who lost their houses after it was bombed by the Israeli occupation forces, thousands and thousands of the people, they came to the hospital as a shelter because they thought that it is a safe area. Still they are inside the hospital, everywhere in the hospital, inside the corridors, even inside the rooms, the patient room, even at the gate of the operation theater, at the gate of emergency department, at the gate of ICU, and of course in the garden as well. So thousands and thousands of the people, they are lying down on the floor without any basic needed, without clean water, without drinking water, without food. So this situation is really unbelievable. The communicable disease started weeks ago to occur between those people, and they make extra burden in the health system, unfortunately. So everybody should be responsible and take the responsibility to cease fire, to end the war, and to allow the medical and the what is Gaza Strip need from the all aspect of life should be returned back, so those people deserve to live as the other human being. Thank you very much.